الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وآله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي، ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أولياءك في غزة، اللهم انصر أولياءك في غزة، اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم انصر أولياءك في لبنان، اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم فرج عنا وعن إخواننا في غزة وفي كل مقام. اللهم ثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم، اللهم نفس كربنا وكربهم، اللهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين يا رب العالمين. صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى وصحبه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. So we have been talking about the ontological argument, and Iqbal saying the ontological argument, which has been presented in various forms by various thinkers. Um, has always appealed most to the speculative mind, the ontological argument. So it is for certain has been presented by various thinkers throughout the history, but it hasn't been, as I said the last time, hasn't been a popular argument in Islamic theology, Ilm al-Kalam, or in Christian, at least in the mainstream. For example, Aquinas is not big on ontological argument. His mainstay is cosmological argument, like. And I think in the religious context, the most in Islamic and Christian tradition, the most popular arguments have been the cosmological argument and design argument. Okay, so and as far as I know, the ontological argument was most famously, I don't know if first, was most famously presented by Saint, among the Christian tradition anyway, Saint Anselm of Canterbury. So that was almost the time of Imam Ghazali. And as we said, in the modern period, Descartes is the main. And I say main proponent of ontological argument. And as I said in the last session, it's quite congenial to, or it's a good fit with his method, which gives priority to direct experience. And as he says, our direct experience is within our own subject, within our own self. Our direct experience is towards the ideas, and clear and distinct ideas have certainty which surpasses beyond our certainty about the external world. And for him, the idea of God or Supreme Being is an idea, and to him it's a clear and distinct idea. And that's why it's absolutely certain. And from there he goes. So in modern times, and obviously among Descartes' followers, Spinoza obviously has an ontological argument, and Spinoza was the one who had a huge impact on, who consistently developed Descartes' conception of substance. And from the definition of substance, he argued that there can be only one substance. For Descartes' Cartesian definition of substance, he argued that there can only be one there could only be one substance. But among modern philosophers, Kant is actually a major opponent of the ontological argument. And I didn't know this until recently, but I just recently came across this very reliable source search that actually the actual term, although the argument is there in Anselm and in Descartes and Spinoza and all those people, but the actual term ontological argument is due to Kant, who actually gave the term ontological argument, or the German version of it, in his Critique of Pure Reason. Critique of Pure Reason, somewhere around A519, B619. And for Kant, and Kant rejected it, obviously. So Kant gave us the term ontological argument. Obviously not the argument itself. And the way, obviously, Kant sees it is different from Descartes, because Descartes sees ontological argument as an idea of God within us, which is clear and distinct. And we will come to Descartes' presentation in a minute. But for Kant, ontological argument is not an idea which comes from inside, but it is an abstraction from experience. So the foundation of ontological argument for Kant is our own experience. Our experience of external reality, not the idea of God which comes from inside or from our mind. So for Kant, it's a proof of the existence, ontological proof of the existence of God. Where abstraction is made from all experience. So I'll take what I just said a few minutes ago, take back, because abstraction made from all experience doesn't mean that the idea itself necessarily. I would have to check the context more carefully some other time, but doesn't mean that the idea is abstracted from experience. But if not from experience, where else would it be? So, but anyway, it is abstraction from all experience. So, in that sense, it's totally different from cosmological argument and design argument. Abstraction from experience and the existence of God or supreme being is inferred from concept alone. That is the concept or idea of the supreme being, as you will see. And Kant rejects it because for him like Imam Abul Hasan al-Ash'ari, existence is not a predicate. So existence cannot be derived from concept alone. But obviously that's what ontological argument does, as we'll see in a minute. Okay. And obviously Allama Iqbal doesn't mention Kant here, but the Cartesian argument from the of the argument, ontological argument, run thus: to say that an attribute is contained in the nature or in the concept of a thing, concept, is to say that, that's Descartes, to say that the attribute is true of this thing and it may be affirmed to be in it. But necessary existence is contained in the nature or the concept of God. Hence, it may be with truth affirmed. So, it may be with truth affirmed that necessary existence is in God, that God exists. I think this is an old translation. Let me see if the editor has provided the reference to this passage. So this is the Ross translation. I don't know whether this translation was available. Let me see in my copy. In Allama Iqbal's original edition, there's no reference to a translation. But anyway, I don't have this translation, so I can't check it. But the translation doesn't read very good. So let me try to get some quotes from Descartes from recent translations in order to see what Descartes is actually saying about ontological argument. I think the actual Descartes' actual argument is more clear from this passage, which I'm going to from. I think this passage is from meditation. I'm not sure, but anyway, Descartes' argument is that existence can, let me write it so don't waste too much time. Now this is important because actually this is the version which Kant is actually rejecting. And what Descartes is saying, that existence can no more be separated from the essence of God. So the main terms are existence and essence, remember them. Then the fact that is 3 angles equal 2 angles can be separated from the essence of triangle. The essence of triangle. It is a contradiction that it is contradiction to say that to think of God, which is the idea of God, that is supremely perfect being lacking existence, that is perfection. So here the two terms, important terms are the two important terms are existence and essence, and the concept of idea. So we have idea of God as a supreme perfect being. Okay, that's the idea. So like, that's one step in this. The second step is, and this is as important, that first is that if we have a clear and distinct idea, so then that thing exists. That's a separate argument actually. But here the argument is that existence is perfection. That means it's a kind of predicate. And the example of triangle is important. The concept of triangle, Descartes says, is that three angles of a triangle equal two right angles. So you can't say that it is a right angle, but deny. You can't say it is a triangle, but deny that its angles equal to triangle. That's a contradiction in term. So in a similar way, you can't say that there's the idea of a perfect being, but that perfect being doesn't exist. That's the gist of Descartes' argument here. But Kant's strike at this argument is to deny that predicate is existence is a predicate. So if existence is not a predicate and perfection is a predicate, then there is no contradiction, because we are not, what we are actually saying is, according to is that if we have a perfect being, in reality, then he is obviously existing. But that's not the argument. The argument is we have the idea of perfect being, and existence is a perfection, so he must exist. But Kant said existence is not a predicate. On the other hand, existence is the condition of the condition of all the predicates. So when I say something exists, it doesn't just mean that one predicate exists. What I say is that only then any of the predicate can exist. And existence is the, in a sense, ground of all predicate, but not itself a predicate. It's like saying that I have a concept of, it's not the same thing as I have a concept of $10 in my pocket. That's totally different from having $10 in reality in my pocket. So that was Kant's argument. and that's how he rebutted Descartes' argument. And now let's read Iqbal's quotation again and see if it gels with what we said just now. Now, he's going to talk about Descartes' other arguments, supplements. So maybe that would be, I haven't seen it right now, so and I don't remember. Because I don't read beforehand when I start. That's the whole point of it. To say that the attribute is contained in the nature of the concept of a thing is the same as say that the attribute is true of that thing and it may be affirmed to be in it. Yeah, maybe. But necessary existence is contained in the nature of concept of God. Hence, it may be with truth affirmed that the necessary existence is in the concept of God because He is perfect, and perfection, existence is a type of perfection, a predicate. But if you deny that existence is a predicate, there's no contradiction. Okay, let's stop here, and next time, inshallah, we'll start from here. Descartes supplements. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلى وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك